if you want to get a part-time job or a full-time job in your field, your compensation and your worth in Canada is defined by this. And this definitely impacts your self-confidence, and it makes you nervous because you constantly have this fear in mind that you won't be able to explain yourself. What's up YouTube? It's Shivansh here and welcome back to my channel. So a lot of you guys have been sending me messages asking about what will be my advice for all the international students and new immigrants who are planning to come to Canada in 2022. So I thought, why not make a video about all the things that you need to do before moving to Canada and how can you prepare for Canada in 2022. Moving to a new country is a huge task and it comes with a lot of challenges. The advice that I have for you in this video is based on my experience of studying and then working in Canada over the last 9 years, and it will definitely help you overcome all those challenges and make your Canadian journey very smooth right from the beginning. So all this useful information is coming up in this video. Make sure to hit the like button and also subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on any important updates about studying or working in Canada. And with that being said, let's start this video. So the very first advice that I have for you is to start improving your English. Now I know that a lot of you guys have either already cleared your IELTS exam or are currently preparing for it, or you already have a really good score on Duolingo, but you still need to improve your English and your communication skills. Most people, when they come to Canada for the very first time, they face this challenge where either they're not able to explain themselves properly to the other people, or maybe they're not able to fully understand what other people are saying around them. For example, when you come to Canada for the first time and you go to a restaurant, let's say a Tim Hortons, and you try to place your order or talk to an employee, then you might realize that sometimes you're not able to fully understand what they are saying, or you're not able to explain your order properly. Now, even though you might have studied English your entire life and you might think that you have a really good command over English, but still a lot of people face this challenge, at least in the initial few months. And this shocks people because they feel like, how can this happen to them? Because they've been to a convent school or they already have a really good command over English, then how can they not understand everything that's been spoken around them? And if I talk about myself, then I also face the exact same issue when I would go to the classroom or I would talk to my friends, and I would not be able to understand all the things that they would talk about. And in every conversation, I used to feel a little left out or confused about what other people were exactly saying. And this definitely impacts your self-confidence, and it makes you nervous because you constantly have this fear in mind that you won't be able to explain yourself properly, or you won't be able to understand what other people are talking about. The reason why this happens is that the way people speak English in Canada is very different from what we are used to back in India or back in our home country. The accent is very different. The way people use certain phrases in their sentences, that is also very different. So it definitely takes a while to get into the flow and to communicate effectively with people in English in Canada. And besides boosting your self-confidence, your communication skills are extremely important in Canada, because whether you want to do any part-time jobs or you have to work in a group project, or later on if you have to apply for your full-time job interviews, your success in all these things will depend on your communication skills, and people will offer you opportunities based on how well you are able to express yourself. So right now, while you are waiting to come to Canada, the best thing that you can do for yourself is to practice and to improve your English. You can use apps such as Duolingo or Cambly, or you can also practice with a friend that will help you improve your speaking and your listening skills. This will help you improve your command over English, and you will definitely see a lot of difference in yourself and in your confidence once you actually come to Canada. I also have a detailed video on my channel about how to improve your English. In this video, I go over how to improve your reading, writing, speaking and listening skills, and it will also help you with the preparation and also improving your IELTS score, so make sure to check it out. My next advice for you will be to master the art of research. Now just imagine if you have to buy a phone, then you will spend a lot of time researching about it, right? You will try to find a phone that has the best in class camera, provides you with the most memory, has an amazing display and user experience, and provides you with the best value for money. Then why not do the same thing for every single single important thing in life, like finding a good course to study in Canada, looking for a part-time or a full-time job, or even when deciding whether you should buy a car right now or wait until you have a better salary to support yourself. In today's day and age, literally everything is on your fingertips, available on the internet. You just need to put in the efforts and do your due diligence to ask the right questions in order to get to the answers. And that's why I say to research is an art and you need to master it, because the answers are already there on the internet, but you will only know them if you know how to ask the right questions. So if you have the time right now, then you should try to learn how to research about things that you don't know. For example, if you want to buy a winter jacket in Canada, then you should be able to do the research and figure out that December or the Boxing Day sales are the best time to buy a winter jacket in Canada, because winter jackets are very expensive and they cost around $300 on an average, and that's why buying a winter jacket is an investment, and you need to make sure that you are making the right decision by knowing when to buy it on a discount. Similarly, if you want to take up a course or a certification to enhance your skill set, then you should be able to do the research to figure out which skills are actually in demand in your industry in Canada, and then get those certifications that teach you the skills that are in demand. Don't just rely on what other people are doing or asking you to do. Do your own due diligence, because ultimately it's your life that will be affected by your decisions. So if you master the skill of researching, then you will not only be able to save a lot of money in Canada, but you will also be able to make the right decision that is driven by data and research. My next advice for you will be to focus on choosing the right course instead of worrying too much about the college or the university ranking. Now, I already have a detailed video on how to choose the best course in Canada, so you can definitely check it out as it will help you make the right decision. But here I would like to say that the system in Canada is not the same as the system in India, where in India students have this mentality that if you don't go to an IIT, then you won't be able to get a good job as an engineer. However, the ranking of your college or your university is not the most important thing in Canada. Your compensation and your worth in Canada is defined by the skills that you possess and not just by the university or the college that you went to. So try to choose a course that teaches you the skills that you need to be successful in Canada, the skills that are in demand in Canada, and that enables you to do the work that you are actually interested in. Okay, so the next advice that I have for you before coming to Canada is to learn everything that you can about personal finance. Now, personal finance is a topic that is very close to my heart because I am extremely passionate about saving, investing, and growing my wealth. But the sad reality is that this knowledge is missing from our educational system, at least back in India, because in India, we were never given any financial education on topics such as debit, credit, the importance of a good credit score, or how to manage your finances, etc. However, if you are coming to Canada, then you should put in the effort and the time to learn about personal finance, because knowing about how to manage your finances will definitely help you make better financial decisions in Canada. Even when I first came to Canada, I was just 18 years old and I had no idea about what is a debit card, what is a credit card, what's the difference between them, and how can I use them to maximize my savings, how should I manage my finances in Canada, when and how should I start investing, and the importance of saving at least a few $100s every single month towards your financial independence or towards your future goals. And similarly, a lot of students, when they first come to Canada, they're just 18 years old, and that is a very naive age to be in, because at that age, most people have no idea about how to manage their finances or anything about personal finance. And because of this, a lot of international students make the mistake of buying expensive cars or expensive phones even before they can actually afford them. And what happens is that their monthly expenses become so much higher than what they're actually earning every single month. And eventually, a lot of students end up taking on a loan or a debt to pay off their expensive lifestyle because their income is just not enough for their expenses. And then they spend years just repaying that loan. And this is a vicious cycle which eventually leads to a lot of mental stress and also affects their physical well-being. I have seen a lot of cases where students buy really expensive things even before they can afford them, and that has severely affected their mental and their physical health. So while you still have the time, you should try to learn everything you can about personal finance and how to manage your finances once you come to Canada, and learn about topics such as debit, credit, how to create a good credit score, and how to properly manage your expenses in Canada. This will not only help you make the right financial decisions once you come to Canada, but it will also help you later down the line when you have to buy a car or when you have to buy your first house in Canada. Also, let me know in the comments below if you want me to make a video on how to manage your finances in Canada. This is a very important topic and you should definitely pay attention to it. My final advice for you is to have a game plan. A big mistake that a lot of people coming to Canada make is that they only focus on the short term. They just want to come to Canada and that's it. They don't think or plan for things beyond that. It's great that you're coming to Canada and I'm actually very happy for you, but you also need to figure out your long-term plan. Why are you actually coming to Canada? How will you find your accommodation and manage your expenses? What is your plan for the next 1 year, next 3 years, next 5 years? If you want to pay the tuition fee for your college, then how will you manage that? If you want to get a part-time job or a full-time job in your field, then how will you go about achieving that goal? And later on, if you want to buy a car or a house in Canada, then how will you start saving money for that or preparing for that from today onwards? All these are extremely important questions that you need to ask yourself before coming to Canada, and this is what I mean by having a game plan. Be prepared for what you actually want in life. Don't just wait for things to happen on their own, because trust me, they never do. And there are so many videos on my channel on topics such as how to find accommodation, getting a part-time job or a full-time job, and how to prepare a Canadian style resume, etc. All these videos will help you in planning your journey and in achieving your goals in Canada. So this was the entire video, guys. I hope you guys found this to be useful. If you have any questions, then feel free to comment below, and you can also follow me on Instagram at Shivansh Singla 119, and I'll be happy to answer all your questions. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel to watch more such videos about studying and working in Canada. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.